This is Graduate a CEO, what it takes and what it means to become an entrepreneur, and why college is the perfect time to start your business. Here's Jim Hunter.
Hi, I'm Jim Hunter, longtime professor, and I wrote a book about students who start businesses while in college. And my first guest did just that, and her name is Caitie Gehlhausen. Caitie founded her first company, Socket Locket, on the campus of High Point University, and has since made a name for herself in the entrepreneurial world. With her expertise and passion for entrepreneurship, she has pushed her brand to new heights, winning dozens of pitch competitions and launching Socket Locket into over 3,000 Walmart stores. Caitie, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Caitie, let's start things off with what problem you were trying to solve when you came up with Socket Locket.
Yeah, so when I first created the company, it was called Socket Locket. We've recently rebranded to just Locket so that as we expand to new products, it's more applicable to all of our different product lines. But for the sake of when I started the company, it was Socket Locket. I created it when I was 19 years old, my freshman year of college. Back in 2018, when I was noticing that all my friends and classmates on my college campus had either a phone grip on their cell phone or a phone wallet, but they never had both at the same time. And I questioned why no one was using these two popular phone accessories together. So I kind of did what any Gen Zer would do, and I headed to the internet to scour all the websites to see if there was anything out there on the market that could allow me and my friends to use both products simultaneously. And it was to my surprise that there was really nothing out there on the market that allowed you to use both. And as a double major in entrepreneurship and finance, I decided, heck, this is going to be what I'm going to do with my entrepreneurship major during my time on High Point's campus. And it ended up turning into a whole lot more than just a school project.
Well, that's wonderful. I think you mentioned when we talked several months ago that your dad had really encouraged you to look for problems, and you came home and told him that you had one.
Yeah. So he has run his own company. With him and his brother started a company together and have been entrepreneurs for over 35 years or so. I came back my freshman year that first semester, and I actually hadn't had any ideas sparked up as to what I wanted to start as a business. And he kind of gave me a little bit of a nudge and was like, what's going on there? Are you getting involved in the entrepreneurship clubs and things like that? And I said, well, I'm having complete writer's block. I don't know what type of company I want to start or what I want to pursue. And he said, well, that's because you're searching for an idea when instead you should really be just listening and observing different problems that come up between like you and your friends and see if there's solutions out there to that problem. And if there isn't, then there you can go from there to start your business. It wasn't 2 weeks after that I created Locket.
So it was really a shift in thinking. Instead of looking for the idea, you were looking for the problem.
Exactly. I kind of turned it on its head.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, what was the biggest challenge you faced when starting Socket Locket, and how did you overcome it?
So I guess there's a lot of challenges when you're first starting out. A big challenge was just time. I mean, as a young entrepreneur who was also at the time playing Division I golf full time and also had a full class load doing a double major, I knew that if I wanted to turn this into a successful business, not just a school project, that I had to have someone helping me out and really be a partner with me during this whole venture. So I pulled in my mom. She was recently retired and we have been in business since day one together. But I really think that I attributed a lot of my success for what I did with Locket during my time in school, of not treating it like just a school project, treating it like an actual business from day one. And part of that was pulling in help where I needed help.
Well, that's great. And it's terrific that your mom could do that. But you were also playing golf.
Yeah, I was for the first 2 years. Yeah.
Wow.
I was taking about 20 hours and was playing golf full time my freshman and sophomore year. So I had about a year and a half overlap that I was doing the business and playing Division 1 golf and doing a full class load. It was that summer going into my junior year that I had gone to a couple of trade shows and had a lot of traction. And I was like, this is something's got to give. There's no way that I can do all three at my maximum potential. And I knew that golf was not going to be my future, that I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur in the future, and I wanted to maximize my potential with this business. So I decided to hang up the sticks and do the business full time. And I took an extra class out. I think I took like something crazy, like 24 hours or something. I had like 6 classes going.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, it was like insane. I had 4 classes with one professor, so he knew the situation I was in. I was trying to graduate a year early because it was a private school that I had previously had a golf scholarship for, so was trying to graduate quickly.
Well, that's great. What was the process of launching Socket Locket into over 3,000 Walmart stores? And what was it like, and what did you learn from it?
Oh gosh, so it has been such a cool journey. Not an easy one, that is for sure. But to back up a little bit from when I quit golf, decided, okay, I'm going to graduate a year early. That was the year 2019 going into 2020. So I was now going to be a 2020 grad and become full-time running this business. So in January of 2020, we went to we being me and my mom, because we're equal business partners, but so we went to a couple of trade shows and had some huge momentum going into 2020, specifically in the promotional space where we could customize our product for different brands and events and things like that. And we were really excited because when we got home, we got all these order requests for 10, 15, 50,000 units. People were because they had never seen a product like ours before. So there was a huge momentum that we had going into 2020. Of course, you probably know where this is going. March of 2020 happened, and we were forced to pivot the business away from promo. So all the momentum we had there pretty much went to zero. Businesses just didn't have extra budgets for promotional type products. They were pouring all their money into like PPE type products. So our promotional business went to nothing, and that was our biggest revenue driver at the time. So we decided we were going to pivot the business and do some retail applications instead. And that was probably end of March, maybe early April. And so I had done an application to Walmart's 2020 open call, and I didn't even remember that I had even done the application because it was just complete radio silence. It was that time period where all small business owners just had no idea what was going to happen with their businesses and if they were pivoting permanently or how we all needed to adjust to the new world we were living in. So it was just a long period of just nothingness. I actually had accepted another job offer in July, and it was, I think, 5 days after that I had accepted that job offer that I got an email back from Walmart saying, hey, we're interested in having you for an interview with our merchants for the 2020 open call in October. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are the odds that right after I just accept this job offer, I have this huge opportunity? But I stayed super open-minded, and I didn't know anything about retail. So I had decided to talk to everyone I knew who had ever pitched to anyone in mass retail, and whether they had been on the buying side, actually working for the corporations, or whether they had been a vendor. And so I probably had 10 different conversations with different business owners or corporate people.
Was this through High Point?
No, at this point I had been graduated.
You had graduated, yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep, I graduated in 2020. And so I had pivoted the business away from promo because I was going to do this full time. There was no money to pay me full time. So I accepted a job offer, and then 6 days later, I got the interview. So
Uh-huh.
it was kind of a crazy turn of events. But yeah, so as I'm preparing for this, I have about 2 months to prepare for this interview. And I am like, okay, what do I need to know? What should I expect in this interview? I've done a million pitches, but never one for a big contract like Walmart. And so people kept saying like the same thing over and over. They said they're not going to tell you yes on the spot. If they do tell you yes, they'll probably just test run you with 50 stores, and it'll be a small run, if anything. So I had that in my mind. I'm like, all right, so maybe I can just like ease into this business. Maybe I can learn a little bit, like, and learn as I go and kind of dip my toe in the water. So I have the interview, and all of that went out the window when halfway through the interview, they said, okay, Caitie, you don't need to keep going. You're already a yes from us here at Walmart. Like, we want you in 3,000 stores by April. So all your products need to be here in February. And they were throwing out some massive numbers that I had literally never even considered before. So it was,
That's amazing.
yeah, it was crazy. And I didn't know anything about retail at the time, but between me and my mom, we were just a 2-man team, and we pretty much defied every odds ever of getting into Walmart. And I would consider us experts now. So it's been a crazy journey.
Well, that's wonderful. Gosh, you mentioned that you had gone to several shows before. What shows did you find that were beneficial to you?
Yeah, so we had done PPAI show, which is the biggest promo show of the year, and we've also done
That's
the
promotional goods, promotional
yeah,
items.
yes, all for the promotional items. And then I did last year. I attended the WeBank conference as well, which is for women-owned businesses. I'm a
Uh-huh.
certified women-owned business under WeBank, which is huge in the retail space. So I've done a lot. I did a lot of networking there last year.
Well, great. How do you come up with new product ideas, and then how do you decide which ones to pursue?
Yeah, so my process for coming up with new ideas is interesting because it's not like a proven formula by any means. And I do some product searching online and trend searching, but mostly all the products that I think of, and we're still on a 2.0 version of our same flagship product that's currently out there on the market. But I have about 5 product lines that are in the pipeline of product development right now. But my process for it is interesting because all the new products that I want to pursue are entirely different than anything out there on the market. So as far as like trends go, I look at some macro trends, but I don't follow down the same development as other cell phone accessory brands. So I'm still having to tap into my creativity as far as like what's something entirely new that the market hasn't seen. And I think
That,
that's really what gives us a competitive edge.
the category is accessories.
Yes, like electronic accessories, carrying your essentials with confidence and convenience.
Okay. Can you talk about any of the plans to launch a new product? I don't want you to, you can't tell something that's too premature. Any hints you can give?
Yeah, most of them, all but one, are all still around the cell phone accessories. Some of them are adaptable to our current product line. So we're launching in May, and this part is not secretive, but in
Uh-huh.
May we're launching with Walmart an updated 2.0 version of our flagship locket. And originally, the original locket is applied to your cell phone with a 3M adhesive. So it's a one-time stick. And I was listening to customers over and over say, I love that product, but man, I don't want to give up my wireless charging. So I heard that enough times that I was like, all right, let's see what we can do around this. Instead of it being a 3M adhesive for a one-time stick, it's actually applied to your cell phone with a Velcro. So you can
Oh,
just
okay.
you can
Take it
remove
off.
it. Yeah, you can remove it easily, and as long as your cell phone case itself is compatible with wireless charging, it'll charge through the thin Velcro material when you remove the locket. all of our other, there's a couple of other products we have in the pipeline that will be compatible with that same idea of the Velcro application of it.
Sounds terrific.
Yeah.
And on that note, let's take a break, Caitie. But coming up in the second part of my conversation with Caitie Gehlhausen, the founder and CEO of Lockit, Caitie shares the impact that mentors have had on her career.
I've had a lot of different mentors, and the ones that I've had the best experiences with are the ones that I feel like I can just talk to candidly, and if I needed to cry to them, I could.
This has been Graduate a CEO with Jim Hunter. If you'd like to connect with Jim and learn more about why you should consider starting a business while in college, go to jameshhunter.com. Graduate a CEO is a production of Advantage Audio.